Good morning, and welcome to your AIDailyPress morning podcast for April 2, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, the conflict between the U.S. and Iran remains on high alert, with indirect talks sparking hopes for a potential diplomatic breakthrough. The international community is urging all parties involved to prioritize diplomacy and work towards a peaceful resolution. Secondly, the Supreme Court has expressed skepticism over President Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship, a cornerstone of American immigration policy. The court's decision, expected later this year, could have far-reaching implications for millions of people and potentially reshape the nation's immigration landscape. Lastly, we're following the same story from a different angle as the Supreme Court weighs its decision on the constitutionality of President Trump's executive order aiming to restrict birthright citizenship. Critics argue that this move is part of a broader effort to restrict access to citizenship and limit the rights of non-citizens. These stories are complex and multifaceted, and will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available. For now, it's clear that the fate of birthright citizenship hangs in the balance, and the consequences of the Supreme Court's ruling will be felt for generations to come. We urge all parties involved to prioritize diplomacy and work towards peaceful resolutions. And that's a wrap. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then shall and know what's right now. First, Israel has announced its decision to reduce French defense imports to zero, citing hostile policies from France towards its interests. This move reflects the increasingly complex relationships between nations in the Middle East and Europe. In related news, President Donald Trump's criticism of NATO has exposed a widening rift in the transatlantic partnership, with European allies concerned about America's commitment to collective defense. On a different note, the Eurovision Song Contest is expanding to include an Asian edition, which will be held in Bangkok later this year. Artists from at least 10 countries across Asia have confirmed their participation. Additionally, we're following the story of jailed Palestinians facing the threat of death by hanging without due process under a new Israeli law, sparking widespread concern about human rights and the rule of law in the region. We'll also be discussing the recent ruling that protects the funding of public media outlets like NPR and PBS, emphasizing the importance of preserving First Amendment rights and ensuring government actions do not unfairly target specific viewpoints or entities. Lastly, we're celebrating a historic moment in space exploration as NASA's Artemis II mission continues its 26-day voyage around the Moon, marking the first crewed lunar journey since the Apollo era. These stories and more will be explored in depth on today's AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, SpaceX's ambitious Starship program has taken another significant step forward with a successful test flight of its SN8 prototype, reaching an altitude of 12.5 kilometers before returning to Earth. This milestone brings the company closer to its goal of establishing a permanent human presence on Mars and beyond. Secondly, the Indian markets have shown resilience in the face of global headwinds, partly due to optimism surrounding the de-escalation of the U.S.-Iran conflict. The BSE Sensex and NSE Nifty have rallied, with sectoral indices such as IT and auto participating in the up move. However, we caution investors to maintain a nuanced perspective, considering the ongoing geopolitical risks and global economic challenges. Lastly, Smart Centers Real Estate Investment Trust has announced new arrangements with Penguin and its executive chairman, expected to bring continuity and stability to the company. The agreements include an extension of the executive employment agreement and updated service agreements, set to expire in December 2028. While some analysts have expressed concerns about increased general and administrative expenses, others see this as a positive development for the company's long-term growth and success. We'll continue to monitor these stories and provide updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA's Artemis II mission has successfully launched, carrying 4 astronauts on a historic journey around the far side of the moon. This milestone marks a crucial step towards establishing a sustainable presence in space and ultimately sending humans to Mars. In other news, researchers have made a groundbreaking discovery about pair-instability supernovae, shedding light on their role in shaping the masses of black holes. This breakthrough has significant implications for our understanding of the universe, from star formation to galaxy evolution. Lastly, as we reflect on these achievements, it's clear that space exploration continues to inspire and captivate us. From the launch of Artemis II to the mysteries of pair-instability supernovae, there's never been a more exciting time to explore the cosmos. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. We've got a thrilling rundown for you today, covering the latest developments in college basketball. First off, we've got a real barn burner of a matchup brewing in the college basketball crown tournament, where Oklahoma is set to take on Colorado. Our analysts are predicting a nail-biter, with the Sooners favored by just 4 points. Will Oklahoma's recent form continue, or can Colorado pull off an upset? We'll be keeping a close eye on this one. In other news, Hall of Fame coach Bill Self has announced his decision to return to the University of Kansas for his 24th season, putting retirement speculation to rest. This move is expected to bring stability to the program and could be a major factor in the recruitment of top prospect Tyron Stokes. And finally, we're seeing some significant implications from Self's announcement, particularly for the University of North Carolina, which is currently searching for a new head coach. With Self off the market, UNC may need to reassess its priorities and consider alternative candidates. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curall.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we've been following the developments surrounding a recent executive order in the United States that has implications for the upcoming elections. The order demands voter rolls and compliance with new regulations, sparking concerns about its impact on the democratic process. We'll continue to monitor this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. In international news, a tragic incident off the coast of Italy has resulted in the loss of 19 lives and the rescue of 47 migrants. This highlights the urgent need for a coordinated and compassionate response from European nations and international organizations to address the root causes of migration and ensure the safety and dignity of those affected. Lastly, we're reporting on a devastating accident in Colombia that has left at least 2 people dead and many more injured. Despite the chaos and destruction, the resilience of the local community is shining through as they come together to support one another. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you updates as more information becomes available. These stories remind us of the importance of community, the human spirit, and our interconnectedness. Whether it's addressing migration, ensuring electoral integrity, or supporting those affected by tragedy, we must prioritize compassion, dignity, and safety for all. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. I'm Joan, and I'll be giving you a quick rundown of my latest articles. First up, we're talking about the intersection of art and technology. I recently wrote about an exhibition that's bringing Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel masterpieces to life in a New Jersey mall. Yes, you heard that right, a mall. While some might say it's unconventional, I think it's brilliant. The exhibit uses cutting-edge tech to recreate the iconic artworks in stunning detail. Next, I dove into the world of entertainment and commerce, where art meets finance. I explored an exhibit called Seeing the Big Picture, which features over 100 masterpieces from renowned artists. What struck me was how some people are reducing this incredible show to just numbers and financial trends. Let's not forget, folks, that art is about beauty, wonder, and bringing people together. Finally, I touched on the topic of entertainment and technology colliding. From film to fashion, we're seeing innovative ways to experience art and culture. Whether it's a museum exhibit or a red carpet event, it's all about finding that delicate balance between creativity and financial savvy. That's a quick wrap-up of my latest articles, folks. Tune in for more in-depth discussions on the AI Daily Press website,
And now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, our oceans are facing unprecedented threats, but a recent study has found that kelp forests, crucial ecosystems for many coastal communities, are proving to be more resilient than expected in the face of climate change. In fact, some areas have seen a 50% increase in kelp cover over the past few decades, thanks to changes in ocean currents and nutrient-rich waters. However, it's not all good news. Our oceans are also facing other human impacts, such as pollution and coastal development, which can have far-reaching consequences for marine life and human communities alike. The story of kelp forests serves as a powerful reminder of the ocean's capacity for resilience and adaptation, and a call to action to protect these incredible ecosystems. In another story, we're taking a step back in time to explore the evolutionary history of a group of arthropods known as chelicerates, which includes modern-day spiders, scorpions, and horseshoe crabs. A remarkable discovery of a 500-million-year-old fossil has pushed back the evolutionary history of this group by an astonishing 20 million years, providing valuable insights into the development of these ancient creatures. Lastly, our oceans are facing numerous threats, including pollution, overfishing, and climate change. A recent study highlights the importance of protecting our ocean ecosystems, including kelp forests, to ensure the long-term health of our planet. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.